Okay, so seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder or SAD. So this is when people start to get depression in the winter. And this is mostly due to a decrease in sunlight. Now, sunlight does a bunch of things. It makes vitamin D, but it doesn't just do that, right? So if you get the SADs when it gets dark outside, here's a couple things that we're going to try. We're going to try vitamin D supplements. Now, I know that you're like, I've taken vitamin D supplements and they don't work. Like, you're probably not taking it correctly, which is not your fault because people just haven't told you. So if you're an adult with like normal liver and kidney function, you probably need to take 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3 every single day with a meal that has fat in it. Ideally, it's vitamin D3 plus K2. So vitamin D3 is one of the easiest forms of vitamin D to process for humans. It's not like the best form, but it's the most commercially available best form. Now, vitamin D's job, is to do a bunch of things, right? It's one of its jobs is to help you make serotonin in your brain, and then that gets converted into melatonin. But it also like regulates bowel function, all kinds of different other things. It participates in a lot of cell signaling, so it's not just like, the happies. It also takes calcium out of your cells and puts it in your blood. Now, if you don't have vitamin K2, you can't get the calcium from your blood into your bones. So not only do you have weak bones and you're more prone to osteoporosis and like bone breaks, but you are also much more prone to getting what's called atherosclerosis or hardening of the arteries, which causes heart attacks and, oh my gosh, there's huge birds. Heart attacks and blood clots, and then heart attacks and strokes, right? So 5,000 IUs, vitamin D3 with vitamin K2 every single day with a meal that has fat in it. Like, I'm talking like a full meal that has some sort of fat in it. To absorb fat-soluble vitamins, you need a meal with fat because your body needs to be able to be triggered to release that bile acid, which like mixes all of the fat up in these little bubbles, and then that helps them get across into your body. Now, the second thing that you're going to need, we're going to try, if that doesn't work, is magnesium. Magnesium runs like over 400 different enzymes in your body, and if you don't have it, not only can you not make energy from the food you eat, but you also can't like make neurotransmitters and all kinds of other things. So super important. If you go to my website, it's just precisionwellness.care. It's got a link that says like products we love or something. And I go through a full list of different forms of magnesium and like which one you should choose based on you. The third thing that we're going to try is tryptophan. People keep walking past me. Tryptophan is converted into serotonin. And if you don't have vitamin D, either you can't push that enzyme that converts tryptophan into serotonin to make it go faster, or you just don't have enough tryptophan to make serotonin in the first place. To make neurotransmitters, you also need iron and you also need folate. So if you're low on like any one of those, you're not going to make your brain chemicals. So iron, folate, tryptophan for serotonin, tyrosine for dopamine. The next thing we're going to try, I think we're up to like 4 now, is a light box. So they sell these like little screens. They kind of look like tablets, except they're not tablets. They're just like these white screens. And it produces a bright light, right? So you're going to buy one of those and you're going to set it like at your desk facing you every morning for like 2 hours while you work or while you do other things. You don't have to look at the screen. You just have to like look towards the screen. So I always set it like off to the side of my laptop screen. And you're going to want to do this as early in the morning as you can, from like 8 to 10 or like 9 to 11 for 2 hours. And this is going to kind of stimulate your brain to realize, oh, it's the morning, we need to wake up, so at night we can go to bed. On that same thing, I don't like tanning beds. I'm not a big fan of tanning beds. I use them myself. My vitamin D got like super low in grad school, so I used tanning beds plus a vitamin D supplement to get them up really quickly because it was COVID. But they're not all horrible. You can go to like the red beds and they're fantastic. You can go just to a regular tanning bed. I don't absolutely hate either one of them as long as you don't have a melanoma risk or like a prior history of melanoma. Make sure you need to make sure you're getting like, derm screenings every year anyway, just to like check any moles that could look weird. Like professional ones, not like your friend that like, knows a lot about moles and they just want to like help you out. No, like go to a dermatologist, get checked every year. But just remember that UVA, UVB will actually decrease the amount of folate and riboflavin that you have in your blood because it damages the vitamins and breaks them down. So if you're going to use a tanning bed, once, maybe max twice a week, because we don't want to get melanoma, make sure that you are replacing your folate and your riboflavin, because they will absolutely get broken down. And then another thing that can help, are we up to like 5 or 6 now? I don't know. Is just moving and exercising. It doesn't have to be like go outside and run, like that sucks. It can just be like, put a YouTube video on like how to dance the salsa and joke around with your kids while you're cooking dinner or something. It can be like you buy a Wii and then you like do skiing on the Wii. It does not need to be anything that takes more than like 20 minutes, and it does not need to be a formal class where you have to drive there, drive back, take a shower, go to a gym. Like, just get on YouTube and look up whatever random movement thing that you enjoy. And surprisingly, for things like depression, we're not talking about cardiovascular health. It might help, but like what we're talking about is movement. And like really, really surprisingly, the studies have shown that dancing is better for depression. So if you want to work out, if you want to like get your heart rate up and, really gym boy it, that's fine. But like when I'm talking about move, I mean like be goofy and dance around. Like that'll work. That's fantastic. So yeah, you don't have to have the SADS because the sun is going away, although it'll be coming back in a few days. But you do need to make sure that like we're taking steps so we don't keep the SADS for too long.